man. Don't be a YouTuber. Do you want to know why? Well, I do. I want to know why. I am reacting to that. Man, this is basically like a YouTuber to YouTuber talk. It's hard out here, man. It's a hard business, man. And basically, I'm at the point where I probably won't be able to be a YouTuber as I would like to. Because, yeah, man, life is hitting me now. So I need y'all support. I need y'all to subscribe. But I'm willing to go through the hard work, man. I'm gonna try to be a YouTuber as long as I can, posting these videos that for people to enjoy while I be trying to work, make money, and like build a family and all that stuff. But anyway, man, this guy got a good commentary video, man. Someone sent it to me. So let's see. Why should you not be a YouTuber? Let's go.
Don't be a YouTuber. Or do, because I'm not your mother. But before you do, there's a lot you should know that really doesn't generally get brought up on this platform. This isn't universal, a lot of this is coming from my own personal experience, but after having been invested on this website for 6 or so years now, there are just some things I wish I knew first. For all of the wacky drama on YouTube, it's actually one of the most supportive globs of people that I've ever encountered. Any YouTuber you talk to will be highly encouraging. I mean, of course you should get involved, because literally anyone can do it. It's very similar to the classic dream of, say, becoming a big Hollywood actor, writer, director, whatever it is along those lines. Until you realize that all of your favorite actors are related to a producer, who's related to a musical artist, who's like the nephew of the record executive. It's a very nepotistic industry, to say the least. But YouTube actually is that dream, because it technically has no barriers to entry. You don't need to be in a specific geographic location, you don't need to know someone to get your foot in the door, and you don't even need any professional quality gear or even professional skills. You just need either a really good idea, a solid grind set attitude, or both, ideally both. I honestly believe it is the most equal opportunity platform to have ever existed in human history. And the reason why
I totally agree. This is why I want to do it, because my first dream is to become a professional football player. That dream kind of like died off on me. But I let the stigma get to me where it was like, I'm too short. My size ain't good. Like, I really don't really care about the injuries. I know my people care. And plus, yeah, like, I gotta lean like a lazy eye. One eye, it's not perfect. Like, I probably barely passed the physical. So I'm like, why try to become an NFL player with all these problems that I got? Well, like this was like maybe like a second dream. Like, I wanted to be famous. Or people just said they want to be famous. And they want to be an actor, man. They want to be on TV. That's where it used to be. And YouTube didn't insist until now. Like, YouTube is another avenue to get famous. You're making a lot of money. So I'm like, and plus, it's all about your work ethic and idea. Like, this is a fair opportunity. You get a free shot at basically life without really doing a regular job, man. Instead of being a regular. Even though this is more work too at the same time, but still, it's based off your work ethic and not just how someone or what someone thinks of you. Technically, I'm wrong on that, but yeah, y'all know what I mean though, when it comes to that part.
Because that dream is dead. A survey in 2017 found that 34% of all kids wanted to become YouTubers as a career. Meanwhile, a much more recent survey in 2022 saw that number skyrocket to an astonishing 75%, with around 30% of them specifically gearing themselves towards becoming vloggers. For a career that didn't even exist a decade ago, that is pretty damn lame. And I very much blame them. But I attribute a huge part of that to what I said before. Just how encouraging YouTubers are that anyone can do this. But that's not really the whole story. A whole ton of tips that you hear from people like, well, I guess me, tend to be coated with a healthy slathering of survivor bias, which is the tendency to concentrate on those who made it rather than those who did not. And I think that's understandable, because those that did try and fail don't actually have a voice on this platform, which makes it real difficult to get their perspective. For example, my flagship channel just hit over 1 million subscribers, which is actually not as rare as you may think. In 2022, it's estimated that somewhere between 25 to 30,000 channels have over 1 million subscribers. However, when you put that into perspective, YouTube also estimates that there are roughly 37 million channels on the platform. Not users, not viewers, just channels. Channels that are actually producing content. Which puts channels like mine in like the top 0.08%. And I don't say that to just like, statistically jerk myself off on camera. I mean, to be fair though, that's not very she was pretty hot. But I say it more to highlight just how many unheard voices there really are. Despite being the most equal opportunity platform in human history, the odds are still pretty astronomically stacked against you if you want to make YouTube a career. And I think the vast majority of people fail for one very simple reason. The most common factor I see with successful channels is pure obsession. You need to live and breathe your content. For example, I have this Luffy. I live it, I breathe it. That was creepy. I may not want to just include that. But whether it's anime, history, gaming, science, finance, beauty, like whatever, it honestly doesn't matter what the content is, as much as it matters that you are absolutely obsessed with it. It could even be video making itself. Like, you might not be obsessed with the topic you're making a video on, but you're obsessed with the process of making the actual video. That's perfectly valid. The reason why you need to be obsessed, though, is because the bad times of video making are going to heavily outweigh the good times. For example, to make a Grand Line review video, I have to write a roughly 2,500 word script. And not only that, but I need to do that 4 days a week for that channel alone. Add a New World review and do in the room, which I'm doing right now, then that means I'm writing at least one whole essay per day. And that gets hard. Often I just want to do anything else that isn't writing. But this is where obsession carries you pretty hard. Because I'm so, arguably, unnaturally invested in what I'm talking about, that passion outweighs the grind. And you can apply that to any part of the process. Like, say, editing. What you guys see on screen is like a fun 3-second effect. Whoosh. But what you don't see is like the hour and a bit that it took me to research and implement that effect while staring my hair out in frustration until it actually works. If I wasn't...
Yeah, that is true, man. Like, I learned that when it comes to editing these videos, man. Like, bruh, I be spending like, if I'm editing a simple reaction video, like this video you see here, me doing like the green screen stuff and all that, making sure that you probably don't see the shadow, which you probably do, because I probably won't be working on that part too much. It takes me to like, I probably start working on that maybe like 8 o'clock at night, and I won't be done until 2, because I gotta like save it, process all of that stuff, and I want to be somewhat of a creative when it comes to the reaction, and depending on how long this is, it's gonna take me a while to do. And I'm like, if you want it to be out fast, you're gonna have to spend all that time. And I had paid an editor a couple times, and I worked on my other channel, which like that one got abandoned because like we all started doing our own thing. And I know there's one channel where I'm working on, like, y'all can subscribe to, the Wannabe Boys. The only way that they get videos out is through me editing it. I'm like, me trying to edit this and the Wannabe Boys channel, it does a lot. Because I'm working like, man, 40 hours a week. So, yeah. You gotta be obsessed with it. Man, you can't be trying to have fun with your friends if you want to get this stuff done. But yep, that's it. That's my little 2-cent rant.
Obsessed with what I was talking about, I would have quit a long time ago. So on the bright side, YouTube is one career where having a crippling and potentially socially awkward obsession can really pay off. But if you just like something, or even worse, if you just like the idea of being a YouTuber, then you are almost certainly going to fail. And even if you do succeed, there is a price to success. And by far the biggest price is time. Making even the simplest of videos when you're inexperienced takes a long time. However long you're thinking, triple it, quadruple it, maybe even do the other one, the one that's even more, the 5, I don't know what it is, quintuple. Do that, or maybe even more. And then when you do know how to make videos, you start getting more ambitious, which just takes more time. And the people at the very top do have a much healthier work-life balance because they can afford to hire employees, which frees up time for some sort of social life. But that's not the vast majority of YouTubers, that's not even me. And for those of you who are just beginning, it is going to be years and years on this journey before you can even think of the concept of hiring someone. Which means that all of that time being put into the channel is just yours. And so if YouTube is your hobby, then sure, that's fine. You can afford to chuck in a little bit of time here and not a lot of time there. But if you have ideas of becoming more serious than that, then honestly, you should probably be prepared to just write off your social life. To be clear, I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm saying that it's a bit of an inevitable cost. Especially when you're just starting, because you'll probably already have a full-time job to support all of the living that I hear you like to do. So when you get home from work, you won't have time to do anything that you want to because you will need to be making videos. And
Yeah, facts. I experienced, man. Me, I'm 25 years old. I am basically experiencing this right now. And like, bro, I've been wanting to just quit my job so I can just be working on this full time. I got people who advise me, yeah, do not do that, man. Like, you gotta make sure that you gotta be making a living. You gotta do this, do that, which, like, yeah, to be honest, I want to move out so I can, you know, deal with the advisors. Which they said, like, yeah, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to I'm going to eat, sleep, breathe. And it's still hard to this day to even get to that. And then plus, like, some videos don't take longer than others. It takes that strategic planning. I have to think about it, just get that pronunciation right. But yeah, man, take all that planning to make a good video that you probably barely gonna get any viewers watching. Like, you gotta, like, you hope for the best or you expect the best, but be prepared for the worst. That's what you just gotta do. Like, you probably won't get the worst, and if you do get the worst, you gotta be like, yeah, I can hop back on my horse and I can film another video. I'm gonna keep trying until I make a hit. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, man. Trying to make a hit all the time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
On weekends, mate, that is prime video making time. If you're not using those, then you're probably not posting videos. Because to post videos, you need to make videos. And to make videos, you need to use the time to make them. It's a lot. And again, even the really simple ones take a long time to make. For example, it can take anywhere from 12 to 24 hours to make a standard Groundline review video. That includes research, writing, recording, editing, thumbnail making, and whatever other production needs pop up. And that time cost is after having streamlined the process to what I think is currently its most efficient. It also doesn't necessarily get better when you do get to hire staff, like say editors. I have 2 editors for Groundline Review who edit half the videos whilst I edit the other half. And I can't count the amount of times I've run into a situation where I've been invited out, because happens sometimes for some reason. But I can't go, because if I do go out, it means I won't have the time to have a project ready for one of my editors. So what am I meant to say in that situation? Sorry, Mr. Editor, but you're not getting paid this week because I wanted to have a fun night out. Or alternatively, I pay them regardless because it was my fault for not being prepared in time, and that night out ends up just costing me a disgusting amount. And I actually think that Mr. Beast is a great example to bring up here. I often sing his praises for just having taken control of this platform with increasingly brilliant ideas, but that guy has no life outside of video making. He lives in his studio and just spends 24/7 working. The 10 minutes of video that he releases every month or so is the result of weeks and months of just non-stop obsessive work. And if that's not a lifestyle that appeals to you, then maybe aiming to be a YouTuber isn't the greatest of ideas. Because every bit of sweet success you taste is going to make you more and more willing to give that much more of your life away. And that's to say nothing of the literal years of time investment that you may need to put in before anything starts paying off. I mention this a lot, but it's never been more relevant than it is now. I was making videos for 3 years before I saw a single cent. Not that everything is about money, but look, eventually you do need to find a way to sustain your obsessive activities. And continuing along the lines of obsession, one thing you need to know is that YouTube is a platform designed to get you addicted to success. As a creator, I often feel like a dog being fed a delicious treat by YouTube every time I perform the trick it is they want to see. I mean, within the creator dashboard, they reward you with literal fireworks when one of your videos performs amazingly, which of course...
You're not gonna scare us. Scared you?
If I'm taking you with me, you do what I say when I say.
Of course leads to more views, more growth, more revenue, and it's all very addictive. And that only makes me more willing to invest time into it, because I need that hit, you know? But it also has a very harsh come down, because when you do perform badly, not only does YouTube not reward you, but it actively punishes you. Every time I have a low performing video, I feel like, my career is over. It makes it really difficult to do things like say sleep, which I've heard is pretty important. And it also makes me really adverse to taking risks in terms of video content. I know what my YouTube audience wants, so I give it to them, and I tend to avoid passion projects that could harm or even sink the channel. But again, this is where obsession comes in clutch.
Yeah, and that's where we see out of some YouTubers where, yeah, they make second channels or another channels just because of that. Because of this reason right here, man. Like, I want them to, like, probably keep what they proud of and, like, you could probably keep it on the same channel. Like, even the same subject, keep it on the same channel. Might as well. I was like, there's just so many of them that it just, I don't know why they do it, but I can tell when it gets to them. When it's like, oh, it's not performing well. I go back to my original content that basically brought me here. Which, like, me, I'm posting just whatever I want, even though, like, I know what my audience would want. Or YouTube keep telling me that basically make a football video, an NFL video, which, like, I do enjoy. Or they treat me as a sports channel now, but yeah, I do enjoy making videos like that, or even talking about football. And I haven't posted a real video, but I'm working on one. Will I fall into the trap? Nah, probably not. But I will be still doing the content that they want me to do. Like I'm slowly, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, keep going.
Obsessed with One Piece that I am happy to talk about anything. It really doesn't matter because this is my favorite thing. And if I didn't have that acute obsession, I think always having to min-max content could be quite soul-destroying. And that's before you bring up the idea of putting yourself out there publicly. Because something you should be prepared for is the fact that some people are just going to hate you. Sometimes there's a decent reason for this, and there's some constructive criticism that you can take on board. But most of the time, it's just going to be people saying they hate your face or your voice or anything, literally anything, whatever you can see, whatever you can hear, someone hates it. Legitimately, whatever you put out there, someone is going to have a reaction of visceral disgust. All of which is to say that if you're particularly sensitive, either prepare yourself for this or maybe rethink the idea of being a YouTuber altogether, because it's very exposing and it could destroy you. You know, I was once actually...
My advice for that, man, learn to laugh at yourself, man. That's my advice. I have experience on my animations. Maybe people might think that I quit animation because of that, but nah, that's not the case. That's just my work ethic. My work ethic is some trash. That's why I don't really have post any animations since then. But I would do it. Like, I paid an ad, and yeah, people started hating on it, saying like, yeah, this look ugly, man. You pay your ad for this. I like yada yada yada. All these comments. Couldn't care less. Man, couldn't care less. I laughed myself like, yeah, I know it wasn't really the best, but hey, man, I'm the best YouTuber, man. Like, yeah, you hate it because it got that success, man. I'm like, you wanted to spend your time commenting on that when it don't really mean a thing. I'm like, you're just wasting time. I want you to comment about the video, or like the content inside the video, not trying to come at me. But yeah, you gotta learn how to laugh at yourself, man. Learn how to laugh, it makes everything better. That's how I do it, man. I don't take anything too serious. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't come back commenting and them like, oh yeah, what you talking about? You so ugly, man. You scared to show your face. I know my trash talk sucks, so I don't even try. But yeah, but don't be coming back at them. But just say, thank you for your support, like my guy. Exactly.
Sent a death threat because of my opinions on comic book pirates. Good times. Look, it shouldn't have to be this way, but it's the sort of thing that you need to expect. To quickly touch on business, if running your own business is something that doesn't appeal to you, then this also may not be the right career path. There's this romantic idea amongst viewers that YouTube is all about the passion, you know, just dude in room doing his thing for the world to see. So honest, so raw. But then as soon as you start making your first cent, everything changes. Because whether you see this as a business or not, the government sees it as a business, and so you need to treat it like one. Which means that you are now subject to a whole new side of law that you need to be on top on, or else you could get into some serious trouble. This is a very common story with YouTubers, especially younger ones, but the amount of people I've heard that just forgot to pay their tax on their YouTube income is terrifyingly astonishing. And that caused them big problems because they weren't prepared to run even the most basic aspect of the business. And I'm not saying I'm amazing at this. I despise admin. so shit at it, and it's by far my least favorite part of this career. But this is, again, where obsession pays off. I love talking about fictional pirates so much that I am willing to sit down and just dive into my personal living hell that is admin. And then there's people. It's kind of weird, actually. Despite the stats I showed you earlier with like the staggering amount of kids wanting to be YouTubers, the majority of society still doesn't even recognize this as a real job. I would say that when you get to talking to people who are around 30 plus, it's a very foreign concept, so you should be prepared for some awkward discussions. A lot of times people can ask what, in any other profession, would be considered quite an invasive question.
I told them, hey mom, I spent 8 years on this degree, but I hate it, and I really want to change jobs. I'm sorry, I know.
Stuff like, how much money do you make, and how do you make it? And I still don't really know how to answer that question, especially with people I still don't really know. I tend to find that people fall into one of two camps when they discover that I'm a YouTuber. Either it's, holy crap, that's amazing, you know, the sort of putting you up on a pedestal and worshipping the idea thing, which comes with a lot of its own problems. Or there's the other way, which is to be completely dismissive of everything you do. Because to them it probably just sounds like you've said, I play with Lego on my bedroom floor for a living. And here's a good example from my real life. So I still do some theater work.
I deal with it too, where I don't even tell girls that I even do this, but yeah, like I have people in my circle, well, basically my parents, man, they gave me the harsh reality of real life. This is what I be taking. Me trying to be a YouTuber, I gotta take the initial hit of, yeah, parents don't believe that this is the thing, man. Like, yeah, they kind of do it, but then they said, like, yeah, man, you gotta make sure that you get a job with health insurance, man. Make sure that you can able to pay these bills. Dang, I don't keep forgetting, but yeah, pay these bills. Make sure you have health insurance. Make sure that. Like, go get yourself a certification. Go get yourself a degree. Man, like, you don't want to be working this 9-to-5 job forever. Man, you gotta make sure you're doing something productive. Go ahead. Go get yourself a trade. And I'm like, I call this, like, my trade, my, thing. And then, like, once, like, if I even pressed them about it, like, this is what I would get. Man, like, alright, how much money you making? Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the facts. And yeah, that's what you're gonna have to deal with when you have nobody who basically done it before. So you're like, it's all gonna be on you, man. It's only on you if you do this as a career. And then once you make money and stuff, they probably like fall behind. But yeah, so. Hey man, if I have that success story, y'all already know what's up, man. If you've been here since this video, y'all know what's up.
From time to time, and it's well past the point where I can keep my actual career a secret. As a result, it often does come up in conversation because, you know, it's a fun novelty profession. So one time I was in between shows chatting with a group, and the question came up of, what would you do if you could no longer do YouTube? Which is a great question, actually, one that I ask myself every time a video performs poorly. But before I could answer, another, slightly older member of the company interjected and said, well, he'd have to actually work. Which elicited a big group laugh that I just had to go along with. It was either that or get, like, very confrontational. Because I very rarely get angry in real life, but this was one of those situations where I really could have gone off. Because it was a joke, yeah, but, you know, there's always truth in jokes. And I could tell that from her perspective, I don't work. I just sort of fuck around all day and somehow make money doing it. While she has real work to do, like a job that makes you get up in the morning and go to a place to do a task. And that's how you make a real living. And that's the sort of thing you'll have to deal with. People not considering what you do a, quote, real job. You don't carry bricks, or you don't enter numbers into a spreadsheet. I don't know. I don't know what a real job is anymore. I just fuck around all day and somehow make a living whilst doing it. You know what? Leave a comment in the comment place if you have a real job, and tell me what it is. I'm legitimately interested. But in conclusion, unless you have a crippling obsession with something, maybe rethink the whole YouTube thing. Because it will cost you time, it will cost you mentally, and it will cost you socially. I don't care how good you think you are at balancing a work life, it is going to cost you. And you could spend years paying all of those costs, all for the insanely low chance of actually breaking through. And these are things no one tells you, because all of the advice you hear is from the 0.1% of people who actually made it. But also, if you want to do it, go for it. Do it now. Because this is still a very unique opportunity, but maybe keep these things in mind before, during, and after you decide to invest.
Well said, well played, man. And y'all, yeah, you basically facts. Like, people believe that YouTubers is like, bro, they don't do no hard work, which I feel like, yeah, YouTubers, they work the hardest. Like, once you try to do YouTube, you understand like how hard it is to even make it, to do what they do. Man, when you gotta constantly spend 24/7 worried about, alright, what video I'm gonna film next? What, well, you basically be the producer, editor, and, talent, man. Producer, editor, and talent. 3 jobs in the one. Part of these movies, man. Like, it takes a lot of work, man. Like, even probably the executive, man. Like, they have to worry about too much things just to find their success. They got nobody or nobody really studying the algorithm, or like basically telling them, oh, how they should do this, what to expect. Like, let me get the job done for you. Like, you basically doing everything, man. This channel is yours. It's not a team thing. It brings so much stress to you. Because you know you gotta keep doing it again and again and again and again, and you don't, and like you can't get complacent. Like, you're not even gonna get a consistent pay. Like, they don't pay you for like, oh yeah, we gonna give you 20 videos. We gonna pay you straight up, man. No matter whatever views you get or whatever that, like, you getting the same amount of money each video you do, like a TV show. Man, every video is like its own thing. And you gotta keep going. You can't even stop. But yeah, but that's it, man. I'm like, what y'all think, man? Let me know down in the comments below. I would say subscribe, man. But who knows? If y'all, I don't think y'all even made it that long. But if y'all made it that long, man, comment king or queen, whoever y'all are, because y'all are a king or a queen for watching this video. And then now y'all understand the pain of a YouTuber. Alright. Be great, be good, G-Spike. We out. Peace.